Okay, one thing here that is important to point out, the distance from the microphone is not ideal. I'm going! Pay attention to that distortion. I'm going! Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the studio with a good cup of tea because it is rather late tonight. And we are going to listen to Yungblud. Now, I have no experience with Yungblud whatsoever. I haven't heard anything from him. I think it's an artist. I think he plays with a band, but I think that Yungblud refers to the singer. And yeah, I'm excited because I've seen that a lot of people are commenting on this particular performance. It was part of the Black Sabbath farewell concert, and it's a performance of Changes. Before I hit the play, here in the channel we talk about vocal technique through a physiological perspective. So the behavior of the muscles that you have inside your larynx, what those muscles do in order to produce different sounds, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss here, listening to Yungblud. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel, click the bell button, that helps me a lot with the algorithm. And I'm also a singer-songwriter. Last week I released an original of mine, it's called The Crown My Fall. I'll leave it linked here so that you can stream it on your favorite streaming service. And yeah, of course, if you like what we talk about singing here, I would love for you to give a listen to my songs as well, and let me know what you think about them and my singing. Alright, so without further ado, let's listen to Yungblud Changes. And my voice is quite tired today because I had the show, and then right after the show I had a rehearsal, so I've been singing for over 4 hours today already. Still, I might give you some examples here of the techniques that will be. So let's go.
I feel unhappy, I feel so sad. I've lost the best friend that I ever had. She was my woman, I love her so.
Okay, so this is pretty nice already. And here's what we have. We have some breathy voices, and the breathy voice is a vocal scheme where we have our vocal folds in passive tension, and we are also allowing some escape of air. So when I sing like this, pay attention to that airy sound, the breathiness. That's a breathy voice. We have some breathy voice in there. It doesn't mean that he's singing with the breathy voice the whole time, but it is a technique that he's using there. And also, he's already using a vocal distortion. And I'm suspicious here, but I love talking about vocal distortions. I love doing vocal distortion. Of course, I love teaching vocal distortions. He's doing a phaser voice here, which is a kind of vocal distortion that is quite usual for singers who like to sing with the breathy voice every now and then to increase the level of activation of the vocal folds as they are doing the breathy voice. And that, if you are thinking about increasing the level of activation of the vocal folds and keeping the breathy voice as it is, we might get into a vocal adjustment that's not so healthy. However, if we open a vocal distortion, we are actually protecting the vocal folds. We are closing more than the breathy voice itself. So increased level of tension, the level of compression of the vocal folds. We still allow some escape of air, but then we have the arytenoid cartilages on the back of your vocal folds. They're making that crack, that And we also have the body of the vocal folds, especially the mid portion, allowing some escape of air. And we have distortions like this.
She was my woman, I love her so.
She was my woman, I love her so.
She was my woman,
She was my woman,
I love her so.
I love her so, I love her so. And this here in particular has more crackling than hiss and sibilance is a bit strong. It's a bit to the stronger side.
But it's too late now. I've let her go. I'm going through changes. I'm
going. Pay attention to that distortion. I'm going. This is so nice. Okay, one thing here that is important to point out, the distance from the microphone is not ideal. Usually, we would recommend staying a bit closer to the microphone than what he's doing there. However, something that we do not know, or at least I don't know, maybe he commented on that, is what exactly he's receiving, because he's using in-ears, at least one side. And maybe in the mix, his voice was too loud, and he was perceiving himself too loud compared to the band, and to compensate that, to counterbalance that. And because of that, he was putting the microphone away to that. That's a possibility. Again, we don't know. Another thing is that probably this song was not exactly the heaviest or hardest on the set. And because of that, also his perception is that what he's doing might be stronger than what the band is doing, and he's trying to compensate to make it more balanced. The distortions are fantastic. Another thing that is important to point out about the phaser voice, we need to have a certain degree of nasality for the adjustment to be healthy. Also, we need to keep the larynx a bit higher compared to other vocal adjustments. For this particular distortion, we have vocal distortions where we want to lower the larynxes. However, that's not the case for the phaser voice, the distortion that he's using. For the phaser, we do want to raise a bit the larynx. That's exactly what he's doing there. And you can even see that sometimes even with his face, he's using the articulators to filter, to send the voice to bring up that brighter sound, which is, again, part of the whole adjustment that will make up the distortion.
Shed the earth, we shed each day, and love together, we found a way, but still the world had its evil way. My heart was blinded, love went astray. I'm going through changes.
Oh my god, this is so nice. His singing is amazing here. This is incredibly high to sing with that amount of muscle mass mobilization. Of course, keeping the distortion and having the whole stage singing the line back. And of course, the whole atmosphere. I mean, it was Ozzy's farewell show. And of course, you get to talk more about Ozzy. I plan on making a video just to talk about Ozzy. But this is amazing. This is just...
I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes. Make some fucking noise.
This is so nice. This is one of the best things for a singer, and yeah, this is what I like the most on stage. It's not exactly. Yeah, so that's the thing. This is counterintuitive, but if there is something that's even better than being on stage and singing well, having that feeling that that's it. I was able to sing that high note or sing that crazy part of the song. Okay, that's pretty good. But having the whole audience singing with you, that's something else. Also, this is something that I really appreciate, his stage performance. Like, the guy he's so comfortable on stage, and he should be, because what a fantastic singer. But this is something that I also tell my students. When you're on stage, it's really important that what you're showing is that you own the stage. You belong there. And that's your space. That's the reason why we call that thing show. You go to a show, you want to see something. And this is one of the responsibilities of the singer. We need to make that atmosphere happen. And this is something that he's doing marvelously. I'll have to insist on this just because this is something really important. I've been working with vocal distortions for a few years now. And one of the biggest things that we discuss is the level of psychoacoustic pressure, how we perceive the sounds that we are making, and also the level of volume attached to specific techniques. Now, when we hear this, it is important to point out that even though at some moments the microphone is indeed too far, and we still hear the sounds that he's making loud enough, like the volume is perfect, the mix is perfect. However, it is important to point out that this audio was processed. So this is not the audio that was being broadcasted the day. I haven't seen the thing like on the day of. This is the first time that I watched this, but clearly this audio went to studio. They processed the audio after, and that's the reason why sometimes he has the microphone a bit closer and the volume is okay, and he has the microphone far, the volume is also okay. We would absolutely have differences in volume if we were talking about hearing the sound that was being broadcasted live, or of course being there as part of the audience. Again, I have my microphone here, and this video that you're watching, I'm using a bit of compression on the sound because I will give you examples sometimes of distortions and whatnot, and I don't want my voice to be too quiet sometimes and then too loud sometimes, because I don't want to scare you. I don't want you to increase the volume as much as you can to be able to hear me, and then suddenly I do a and scare you. So I'm using a bit of compression in here. And even still, when I speak close to the microphone, and when I sing close to the microphone, and when I sing, this is something. And then if I'm speaking here, I'm not that close to the microphone, and then I want to sing, and then I want to sing, the level of volume that you're perceiving is different. If we think about the harmonics and frequencies, is also different. So I lose a bit of low end when I'm here. I gain more low end when I get closer to the microphone. So that's always happening when we are thinking about the sound that's being produced at that moment. Again, this audio that you're hearing here was treated, and that's the reason why even when the microphone is so far, it still has a good level of volume. Okay, and it's not changing that much when it has the microphone close.
It took so long to realize, and I can still hear.
I can still hear. This is a good example. He's singing close to the microphone. Hey, this is a G. So it's kind of high. It's not as high as the A that he was doing for the chorus, but it is high enough, and the volume is perfect. But then when he gets a microphone farther away, the volume is still fantastic.
Her last goodbyes. Now all my days are filled with tears.
After this, I'll definitely listen to more of this guy.
Wish I could go back
What a fantastic artist.
and change these years.
Performance! I call that the rockstar pose. I There is a video. I'm performing Dream On with my band Dream On from Aerosmith. I have a band called Mind Gaze. I'll also leave a link for our original song here that we released a couple of months ago. And there is a video. We were performing Dream On at a bar, and then I was singing the high note and I just hit that pose as well. I love it. I call it the rockstar pose. Beyonce stage.
Let me see the man to the air to the top. Oh, I'm going. I can't hear you say. I'm going through changes.
I yodeled there. Yeah.
God bless Black Sabbath. God bless Ozzy Osbourne.
All right. Okay, after this, I'll definitely have to listen to more Yungblud. So tomorrow at the gym, I know what I'll be listening to. Well, guys, that's it. That's our analysis of Changes live from Villa Park. Back to the beginning, Yungblud. I hope you guys like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to develop your voice, learn vocal distortions, active vocal schemes, passive vocal schemes like the breathy voice, learn ornaments like the yodels, vibratos, runs. So go into the description and check out my online course, Building Your Voice. There we talk about all of these techniques. We have a vocal exercise library with exercises for you to practice each of them. And of course, we have lessons with explanations, examples, and exercises, again, for each of these techniques. So, again, that's my online course, Building Your Voice. I'll leave it linked in the description. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell button. All of that helps me a lot with the algorithm. I'm also a singer-songwriter myself, so if you're curious about how I sound when I'm singing for real, my own stuff, I'll also leave it linked here for you to listen to that. And remember, if your concepts cannot be seen here in the real world, then they must change and not the world. See you in the next one.